I think since the ZANU-PF, specifically the faction of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, pushing through the bill and Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa ascending that bill as law, people thought that, especially those with narrow political thinking, they are of the view that chiwenga has been dealt with. Emerson Mnangagwa has an upper hand, forgetting that in 2017 a similar case happened, but of course in a different dimension. Robert Gabriel Mugabe fired Emerson Mnangagwa, and those with political understanding thought that Robert Gabriel Mugabe had actually overtaken the faction of Mnangagwa by then. But they learned hard after a few weeks when the faction of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, of which by then it was backed by the military, and the commander-in-chief of the Zimbabwe, in fact, the commander-in-chief, of course, being Robert Gabriel Mugabe, but the army commander being retired General Chiwenga. A lot of people underestimated Chiwenga because Chiwenga could interact with Robert Gabriel Mugabe. When you see them together, they appeared to have those cordial relations. But the truth emerged, especially when Robert Gabriel Mugabe, they realized, especially the military, that he had crossed many red lines. There were many red lines that Robert Gabriel Mugabe crossed before he was gotten rid of. Similarly, we are in the same situation. People see the bill, the passage of the bill, Mnangagwa assenting to Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026, and think that he has gotten away with it. It's never as simple as that. And I'll be taking you through why I believe Mnangagwa has not dealt with the threat of retired General Chiwenga taking over political power from him. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become with the very first one to watch us. So if you have been observing the allies of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, I was just watching a video that was posted by Themba Mliso today. In fact, let me just try to go to the account of Themba Mliso so that I read it to you. And he was with Owen Muda. I've said it that most of the people who are supporting Mnangagwa, they are united by Mnangagwa, but they are sworn enemies. Owen Muda as well as also Themba Mliso, they do not see eye to eye, but now they are working together. They are forced to work together because Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa wants them to leave. But in actual truth, these are sworn enemies, individuals that hate each other, but they are forced to work together. So this is what Themba Mliso said. He says, today we were in Shurukwi as we celebrated the passing of CA, Constitutional Amendment Act 3, which is a statement from the masses on their vision of the country. The Minister of State for Midlands, Honorable Owen Muda, was the guest of honor. It is futile for anarchists to continue peddling a state of national crisis when we have already moved to the next stage. The people spoke through the public consultation and through their MPs voted for the act. So this is Themba Mliso. He is saying those opposed to this Constitutional Amendment Act, they are now referred to as anarchists. These people think they are smart. Remember, before the passage of this bill, Themba Mliso was saying people should not make noise of a bill. They should wait and challenge this bill when it is passed. Now it has been passed. They say they are wasting their time. why they didn't participate. In fact, they say people participated in the manipulated processes of ZANU-PF, specifically public hearings. We know the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission condemned the hearings and indicated that these hearings they did not give the people of Zimbabwe ample time, in fact, time to express themselves. In fact, they were designed only for ZANU-PF members. And I want you to hear what also Owen Mnangagwa said. It's quite interesting what he said. He's speaking of celeb, but listen to his way. Okay, I'm trying to, let me, okay, this, it says playback error. Let me just try to get it again.
South kuenda Mashonaland Central, Manicaland Province to Matebeleland North, Matilimana wose enyika esigira 2030 ne Cape 3. Saka isu tauya kuzofara nemi tichipembere asi ndimiwe kutanga kuita mabiko eCape 3. Ndimiwe kutanga kuita mabiko eCape 3 ekupemberera vamwe vatazotevera pama records tinonyora kuti ndimiwe kutanga.
Okay, so if you look, the same propaganda that was written by Themba Mliso is essentially the same propaganda that is being said by Owen Mnangagwa. These two are opportunists that are supporting Mnangagwa because they have been benefiting under the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Now, caption this, they say anarchists. People should not worry about anarchists who are, and there is no one who is an anarchist. Opposing to an act that has been made into law as a citizen is a right of every Zimbabwean. That is why the constitution allows even Zimbabweans to form opposition and criticize the government, though the current government is afraid of being criticized by people to such an extent that they even threaten to kill those who criticize them. They label them names such as anarchist, and there is no evidence of anarchy being done by those who are simply saying we are against this bill. So in simple terms, if Emmerson Mnangagwa has gotten away with this, then we should see them moving forward, celebrating, or as Owen Mnangagwa said, they are the first ones to start to celebrate. Say no statements. You have gotten what you want. If you won properly, if you got this act properly, why then are you keeping on criticizing those who are still against the act? You should actually go ahead and implement it quietly. But they are not doing so because they are not at peace. They know that this thing was forced upon people, and this thing is rejected by the people of Zimbabwe. And also to prove that Mnangagwa is still afraid. Why? They are still going after opposition figures such as Jacob Ngarevume, Tendai Biti. They are on the hit list. Professor Love Momadugu, numerous opposition figures. They are on Mnangagwa's hit list. He wants to eliminate them. And also, today we heard the news that Emmerson Mnangagwa is working on alienating retired General Chiwenga from his allies, specifically the retired military generals, by deploying them in different missions. And he wants to also make sure that when he does deployment, they are deployed in different provinces to make communication to be very, very difficult, to make grouping to be very, very difficult. Even after eliminating quite a number of retired military generals, he is still working on the process to continue doing so, because you cannot actually, it has been unearthed. It is quite clear, and as we are speaking at the moment this week, we have lost another colonel in the military, a senior serving officer in the Zimbabwean army, and all this goes to explain to you that as much as you see retired military generals dying, as much as you see them actually actions being made for them to be alienated, as much as you see all slogans being paraded left, right, and center regarding to Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, or what they are now calling it, Constitutional Amendment Act number 3. This goes to tell you beyond any reasonable doubt that the elephant in the room within ZANU-PF has not been dealt with, which is the matter of succession. What Mnangagwa did, he actually rigged ZANU-PF. Can ZANU-PF rig itself? And you go ahead and celebrate you rigging the rig masters, ZANU-PF. It would make sense if ZANU-PF united and rigged the opposition. But Mnangagwa, what he's trying to do is trying to rig an entity of ZANU-PF, that is the Zimbabwe military. Of course, retired generals have told Mnangagwa that ZANU-PF is our stock. We are actually stakeholders. That is what they have said. A language that was told to Robert Gabriel Mugabe when he actually fired Emerson Mnangagwa, that we are stakeholders of ZANU-PF, which means this is our thing. Don't ever give yourself that impression that this entity belongs to you. But so this messaging, and also the last message by retired generals, they say we will never flinch, we will continue to fight, and they mobilized the people of Zimbabwe, of course, underscoring this point, that they would be pursuing peaceful mobilization of the people of Zimbabwe to reject this bill. And also, Chiwenga has never joined the winning team. There is a saying that if you can't beat them, you join them. He has never attributed any statements that can give an impression to any person that he has given up and Emerson Mnangagwa has won. As such, the succession battle in ZANU-PF, it is still on and very, very much alive. That is why you see a lot of maneuvering. We hear they are planned also arrest, planned assassinations. The fake prophets are still also active. The whole system is actually active, trying to, they are also telling themselves that when they get rid of Chiwenga, then they would have solved the problem. But I don't think Chiwenga is a person. It should not be seen as a person. Chiwenga is an institution. There are people who are backing him, and he is senior to that particular institution. It's something that Emerson Mnangagwa is failing to realize. And to totally eliminate the threat of an institution coming after you is to totally get rid of all senior command elements of the institution. Is that an easier task to be executed by him? Obviously, would be dreaming to think that would be an easier task. So, of course, is seemingly seen to be scoring a lot of goals. Leading before the match is called off does not guarantee you, or it's not a declaration that you are an automatic winner. Towards the last minute, you may be beaten. Scores may come flying like no man's business towards the last minute, even if you're leading, and you end up being led. So we've seen this happening But of course, it is taking a different twist, which may confuse some who cannot read, that the pattern is still the same, just like what transpired in 2017. At one point, Robert Gabriel Mugabe seemed invincible, but he was simply cleanly dealt with. I think and I foresee Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa will suffer the same fate. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okamncane Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast.